The more I watch this show, the more it dawns on me how to watch this show. The more you watch Snowfall, the more you have to realize how to watch Snowfall to really get the full effect of the show. And the secret to watching Snowfall, the key to watching Snowfall, is to not focus as much on the main characters, on Franklin and Teddy and Lucia. But it's more important to focus around the surrounding characters, supporting the main characters, to focus on the people around those three individuals. The more you understand the individuals around those three individuals, the better they reflect back on the main characters, and hence the better the show is. For those who do not know, I am the Black Guru. What I offer is sage wisdom. This is the Snowfall Season 2, Episode 6 reaction and review. Turn your mic up. Turn your mic up. There we go. That's good. Said my mic is low. Let me see. Let me get this mic up. Get this mic up around here. Get this mic up a little bit. We good? How we do? I gotta hold the mic. You know I like to hold the mic. Much better. You know I like to hold this mic. I know I feel like a stand-up comedian. Well, anyway, Snowfall Season 2, Episode 6. And let's just get down to brass tacks. Did you watch the show yet? Was it good tonight? Oh yeah, I watched. Come on. This is what we do. I did like tonight's episode. Tonight's episode has some moments that I want to get into that the vehicle kind of slowed down, but I think overall this was a good episode. Honestly, I think this was a good episode for Teddy. I think this was a good Teddy episode. I seen a dimension of Teddy that I liked a lot in this episode that we hadn't seen before, or we hadn't seen a lot of, and I appreciate that dimension that was exposed of Teddy. Um, there was some some weak Franklin stuff. Honestly, I say this every week, you guys. I did a whole YouTube video about the good, the bad, and the ugly of Snowfall, and Franklin continues to be the bad to a certain extent because it's not necessarily Franklin's fault as much as it is we don't get to see Franklin struggle with the decisions that he makes, and I'm gonna talk about that in a second when I break down the episode. But overall, I still like the episode. There was some real funny scenes, some real compelling stuff. Let's get right into it. So here we are, starting out the episode with this sort of cliche FBI criminal wall that I'm starting to see in every damn show. This little I don't know what to call this fucking wall, but I'm starting to see it too much that I'm starting to feel like it's a cliche. And so we start here, and then we move here to this little meetup of the, I don't know if isn't the Columbias, but these are the people he want to run the drugs for. Now, someone made a good point to me about how the drug running is similar on Snowfall to how things were on Sons of Anarchy, making a point that a lot of the storylines of Snowfall are similar to storylines seen from other popular shows in this genre, and Snowfall hasn't really done anything original yet with their characters, which to some degree I understand and I partially agree with. I think that this drug world, enterprising, dope dealing stories, they've got so many cliches now. They've had so many cliches in them, and I think Snowfall is writing a lot of the cliches. So I haven't seen Snowfall really go anywhere interesting with the international drug dealing plot points. What's up, Carolyn? So yeah, we get this scene here. I think it was some character building for Teddy. I think Teddy kind of grew in this setting more than he grew when he was out there meeting with the people in the desert. He did a better job of negotiating here than he did before. So what that shows me is Teddy is starting to become more comfortable as a drug dealer, like his brother told him. Said, hey, you need to be a better dope dealer. And it seems like he's becoming better. First y'all to put a wrestling ring and they didn't use it. Facts. Hey, Sugar Booger, how you doing? So now we get to Franklin. Y'all been crying about this ice cream truck. So here's the ice cream truck is back. And we got your boy Kev in the background being sort of enterprising. Kind of breaking down where he sees the business going, some things that they can do to try to take things to the next level. And Franklin's all like, no, you're too flashy. Come up with something else that, that's going to, compromise us too much, which is respectable, But it kind of shows that Kev's ambition is a little bit different from Franklin's. We see Kev's got a little bit more ambition as far as his own ideas how things should be. Now, this is what's interesting to me. This doll face chocolate black motherfucker. And I really appreciated her tonight. I really appreciated her character. I appreciate what she brought to the show. Now, what's interesting here is that you have this conversation between Franklin and this woman here. Sorry, her name slips my mind right now. And she's like, oh, yeah, you need to help your daddy. You need to help your dad because, he's been going clean and you need to help him. Well, Franklin's like, nah, that nigga a bum. He been a bum. He gonna be a bum. Franklin talking that shit, right? But at the end of the episode, Nia, that's her name. Thank you, Nia. Well, at the end of the episode, he meets up with Nia and he decides to locate his father and get him to sign some crucial paperwork. Yeah, this is the nurse troll. Now, the problem I have with this is the problem I have with this fucking show. When did Franklin come to the decision that he was going to help his fucking father? All of that shit happened off screen. This is the type of shit I'm talking about. We start off with him being resolute about not helping his father. His father's a fucking bum. And then he's like, we see his ass walking to the fucking grocery store to help his dad. I'll get into it more later. But when did he say, you know what? I think I'm going to help my pops. I think I'm going to help him. I mean, come on. This type of shit, this is where Snowfall misses the fucking, it's like they score a touchdown, but they keep missing the field goal afterward. Then he all smiling and shit. Yeah, commercial break before he decided, right. It's like you score a touchdown and you keep missing the fucking field goal. And this is Snowfall in a nutshell. It's like you get a 3-point play in basketball, and one, and you miss the free throw. This was a good setup, a good storyline, a great character exploration for Nia. But when did Franklin come to the decision that he was going to help his father after he exclusively said no? So here go, this is what I'm waiting for. Every fucking Thursday, this is who I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for Lucia. I keep saying it, I'm going to say it over and over again. Lucia and the Mexicans got the best storyline on this show. They are the most compelling characters. They are the most complex characters. They are the most relatable characters. They come off as the most realistic characters, led by Lucia. And again, they really carry this show, and they were the backbone of this episode. They really were. The plot points revolving around Lucia, we'll get into them more later, were the backbone of this episode. I absolutely love it. I wanted to stop here because, like I said, this is this is a really heavy episode. Yeah, he was stern about not helping. Franklin was very stern. And this was a Teddy heavy episode when we bring back Teddy's wife. Now, I always liked Teddy's wife. Not Teddy's wife, excuse me. Alejandro's wife. And I like her because she brings a level of realism and depth to what's actually going on in Nicaragua. And she brings the real situation of Nicaragua to the table. So Teddy has to deal with what he's really trying to do. So he's not some slick ass dope dealer, but he's supposed to be freedom fighting, helping women like her in their fight. So, you know, she represents a little bit of Teddy's moral compass to a certain degree, which is why I really like her, because she kind of grounds Teddy in what he's supposed to be doing out there. It ain't all about fucking bitches and whatever the fuck Teddy's doing, even though Teddy don't fuck, but it's about helping people like her. So that's the moral compass of Teddy. So that's why I like her character. That's why I want to see her more and more in regards to Teddy. She helps make Teddy more complex. Like I said, this was a very good Teddy episode. And y'all know how I feel about Teddy. Y'all know I don't like him. I've never liked him. For the record, if you don't know, I've never liked Teddy's fucking character. I didn't like how the actor acted the character in season 1. But I think, like I said, to watch Snowfall, I'm going to say this, I'm going to keep saying this, you have to look at the characters surrounding the main characters to really get a glimpse of what's going on with the main character. And again, this woman here represents a bit of the moral compass of Teddy. Smack your goddamn daddy. We're going to get there, Stacy. Hang on. So this is my other girl. We haven't seen her since season 1. I mean, since episode 1. And she come in her mink coat and she's riding with the Vatos, and they got some questions about, hey, what happened? We sent our people over here with some money and they gone now. And we think you had something to do with it. So then she grabs Lucia by the arm, squeezes her with them buckshots in her arm. And you know I don't like my girl Lucia getting hurt, but, you know, business is business. I also like the conversation that they had right here when she said, I have a daughter and we both want to be bosses in this underworld. But when I have a daughter, I kind of look at her as you. I think that was very telling. I think that was some good insight and introspective talk for these two women who are bosses in this underworld life. So I really enjoyed this right here. But put her in a compromised position. Told her, hey, bitch, we need our fucking money. We need our motherfucking money. We need 1.5 million. She said, hey, I can do one better. I can get you the recipe. You'll make 1.5 million in a month. She said, all right, make it happen, because I can't keep holding these vatos off. So now Lucia's in a compromising position. So they approach Franklin. They say, Franklin, hey, man, we need the recipe. We need the recipe. And as we all suspected, Franklin said, fuck you. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't give y'all the recipe. I'll cook as much as you want. I can't give you the recipe. And this is what got me. This is interesting here. Because also told him, hey, man, we saved your fucking life before. He said, we're not trying to be greedy. We're not, you know, this ain't no hustle shit. We're in trouble, bro. And the way we getting out of this trouble is by giving up this recipe. Can you help us? Because we've helped you, remember? Franklin said, hey, you know, I'll never forget that, but this is the one thing I can't do. And that bothers me. That bothers me. Because Franklin, they did save your fucking life. Well, yeah, but I heard it's good. Yeah, it's definitely good. They saved your fucking life, Franklin. I mean, literally, your ass was about to die. They killed the people who were about to kill you, and they need your help to get out the situation, and you talking about, nah, I can't do it. Now, I don't know how I really feel about that. Maybe it's just because it's Lucia, because y'all know how I feel about Lucia. But I don't know how I feel about that shit. I really don't. Franklin got it for free also, though. He did. He did. So, like I said, I don't know how I feel about that. Honestly, I don't know how Franklin feels about that. Why is the recipe a secret? Because if it gets out, then everybody's cooking dope. So, you don't want everybody to start cooking it up. He should have cut a deal. He should have cut some sort of deal, Stacy. I believe he should have. Because, he did right on that one. That's the only thing he's sure about. But they literally saved his life, Poison. They saved this man's life. We all thought Franklin was dead when he was running up with them vatos, when he was trying to sell that little crack over there. They was about to kill him. And had Oso not been there by chance and spoke up for him, he would be fucking dead right now. Hey, Guru, great to see you live. Hey, how you doing, Jess? He would be fucking dead. So, I feel, what I want to say is this. I wish Franklin would have struggled a little bit more to say no, because he was very cold right here. That's the one thing I can't do. They killed the people who were trying to kill you. And to be that cold, let's tie all this together so that way y'all don't think I'm fucking blowing smoke out my ass. Hold on. For those who do not know, I am the Black Guru. What I offer is sage wisdom. Follow the Black Guru if you don't already, and keep those hearts flying. Let's get down to brass tacks. Oso saved Franklin's life, turned around and killed the people that would have killed him, and then asked him for a favor. Okay? Now, those same people killed one of Franklin's homeboys' peoples. Franklin never handled that shit. So now Lucia gotta go around Franklin to holler at Kev about some shit he really should have taken care of already. Okay? If Franklin takes care of the Mexicans who killed Kev's people, then Lucia doesn't have a way to go around his back to get to Kev. Okay? So again, this is Franklin not really making definitive decisions and handling business in a practical and pragmatic way. So we get to this scene here. And like I said, this was a really great Teddy episode. Really loved it. What's up, Brad? Really loved this episode for Teddy. The thing I liked about Teddy here, and when I spoke about earlier about the dimension of Teddy that was coming out this episode, it was his ability to see what the FBI and the CIA were trying to do with him. So his ability to understand what's going on as far as the place being bugged, as far as the windows being open. Later in the episode, we have the car chase scene where he's breaking down how they're going to try to attack him. So I love that dimension of Teddy. Now, this is something I actually love about him, because it almost gives him a superhero-like quality to be able to figure out what the DEA is going to do before they do it and then move on them based on it. I really like that about his character. He was the smart guy. He being Teddy, yeah, Teddy was the smart guy. Him and his bros are a great team. Yeah, Teddy and his brothers are a great team. Yeah, I appreciate inviting the followers, Jess. Thank you. So, yeah, I really enjoyed Teddy on tonight. I just like that dimension of Teddy being exposed, because it gives his character, like I said, another dimension that's almost like a superhero-like quality, if you will. His ability to say, they're doing this, they're doing that, the place is bugged, blah, 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 because he's a CIA agent. So he knows how everybody's going to move on him. I love that about him. Finally, something likable about this character. Now, this scene here. Now, this is a critique for me. This is a bit of a critique because they have Teddy and his brother have this conversation about their parents, and they talk about how it was. And this is when writing and dialogue can be real cliche and real boring. And you think you're doing character building with this shit. You think you're kind of making them more relatable, but really you're just fucking putting people to sleep. And the problem with this conversation from a dialogue perspective is you have these two people talking at a bar, but they're talking to each other about things that they both should already know. So it's just pure exposition for exposition's sake. So, in other words, they're talking to each other, but they're really talking to us. They're telling us the backstory to each other, but they both should already know, right? So they're saying things like, yeah, but mom walked out on us. It's like, nigga, I know. We're in our fucking 40s, apparently. Late 30s, 40s or some shit. Yeah, we know. Yeah, but if dad would have stayed, he would have never left. But mom did this. It's like two brothers having a conversation about some shit as kids that they clearly both know. I mean, come on. This is just this shit. Somebody should have called some bullshit on this. Somebody somewhere should have said cut. For real, cut this shit out. And I hate when movies and television shows do that. I really do. Not sure if you talked about it yet, but I love how they connected Franklin's relationship with his dad. Well, I did talk about it. And his friend's dad. Yeah, we gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. But yeah, this scene here really, this was the worst scene of the episode. So that's why I'm kind of hanging out here, because this was the worst fucking scene of the episode. This fucking expositional dialogue about backstory between two brothers having a conversation between each other about shit they should both already know. Terrible. Fucking terrible. Cringeworthy. Mom walked out on us. She just left. Why would it, think about it, you guys? Why would a fucking 40-something, presumably 40-something-year-old brother tell his other brother, mom just left? The fuck? I mean, just logically, wouldn't those two characters already know what happened and synthesize what it means for both of them? Now, at one point, I praised this show's dialogue, but for this fucking scene, I got to fucking criticize it because that's terrible. That's fucking terrible. Not to belabor the point. Not to fucking belabor the point. So yeah, and then, you know, and then lastly, what do we get out of all of this? What do we really get out? What happened here? Y'all tell me what the fuck happened here. So we get all this backstory. Dad should have never been there. Don't say that. It was mom who walked out on us. Okay, but what do we get? What was the character development? What was the revelation? Oh man, they had her screwed up growing. They were kind of screwed up growing up. Duh. Who hasn't been screwed up growing up? Had different opinions about what happened, right? Yeah, who hasn't been fucked up growing up in their life? So now we get to what's popping. Now we get to the heavy hitting shit. Now we get to the best shit of the night. Maybe dad will show up later. Two different stories. They have family issues just like everyone else in the world. Yeah, Brad, but do we need to spend 10 minutes there? I don't think we spend 10 minutes, obviously, but do we need to really spend time at a bar going over the minutia of a story that they kind of already know or should have already talked about? We could have spent that time. I'll tell you in a moment where we could have spent that time. But let me get through this. So my boy walks in and he's like, hey, where's Franklin? He says, "Hey, where's Franklin?" I love my girl. She go, "You got jacked, didn't you?" You got jacked, didn't you? So yeah, so they like, yeah, we gotta go get the keys back. They like, yeah, your daddy shoot them videos, don't he? So they like, yeah, we about to go up there. Oh yeah. So they go up there, and they walking all in, and Unc looking at all the girls, and he like, oh yeah, y'all about to see some titties and shit. And then he walk in on some gay shit. It was a gay fucking porn they was shooting. And look at his fucking face. Look at his fucking face. He was like, what are titties and shit? He was like, it's a gay one. Yeah. He didn't expect that. Our guy with the girl didn't get to go. Yeah. Old boy with the girl, she said, nah, you're not going up there. She said, nah. Man, but this shit was good right here. This was some good fucking shit. This shit was funny as fuck. So then this when he go, smack your daddy. Smack your fucking daddy. Then he give his daddy's little bitch ass smack. Give him this little love tap smack. Man, that smack your daddy shit was I can't get over that shit, but that shit was funny as hell. Yeah, that smack your daddy scene was funny. But this whole scene was funny. This whole scene was funny. This whole scene was funny. And like I said, I told y'all, the way to watch Snowfall, for my people on the fence, because I was on the fence about Snowfall. I still low-key am, but I found out how to synthesize this show properly. The proper way to synthesize Snowfall, definitely spoiler alert, Nikki. The proper way to synthesize Snowfall, it's a proper way to watch it, is to focus on the characters surrounding Teddy, Lucia, and Franklin, and not necessarily focus on the character arcs of Teddy, Lucia, and Franklin. Because if you do that, this show is, whew, man. But if you focus on the characters around them, you'll have a better understanding of what those characters mean to one another. So yeah, he smacked his fucking daddy. Look at his face. Did they get the product back? No. They made sort of a semi-deal. What's up, Domo? They made sort of a deal. So yeah, so Unc start to slapping his damn daddy. Unc got to slapping the shit out of his daddy. I think mainly he was mad he didn't get to see no titties. That was his. I think that was he didn't really care as much about the coke as he came up there to see some titties and some ass, and he didn't, and he wanted to kick his daddy's ass for that. So I think that was his main thing. So now we get the answer to last week's cliffhanger. Now we get the answer to last week's question. What does that mean for Pedro? Remember, we ended last week's episode with what does this mean for Pedro? Well, Pedro's a fucking snitch. Do you watch Insecure? Yes, I do watch Insecure. I review Insecure. I'll be reviewing Insecure next Monday or Sunday when it comes on. Just follow the Black Guru. Stay close. Stay real close to the Black Guru. Because my Insecure reviews kind of vary. I haven't figured out the right time for that one yet. He's trying to get his revenge. He is. Nice. That's crazy. Pedro has flipped. Yeah, Pedro little bitch ass flipped. He flipped. He went and got him a jerry curl. Did they say he was a snitch tonight? Yeah, Troll, you might want to get out of here. We're getting into some real deep spoilers now. So you might want to roll. He's a fucking snitch. Look at his jerry curl. Any motherfucker with a jerry curl and a scruffy ass beard is a fucking snitch. Anytime you see a jerry curl like that, hair all curled up, but he got a fucking crazy mustache, he's working with the peoples. He's working with the peoples. But Pedro's a fucking snitch. He's in on it. He's in on it. So he's aware that this bitch is a DEA. But the DEA, and I didn't really address this clearly earlier, they're really looking for the pilot and they're looking for Teddy. They don't know that they're looking for Teddy, but they're looking for the pilot and they're looking for Teddy, but they don't actually know it's him. But that's who they're looking for. That's who they want to bring down. Yeah, he went to them and they come back with this bullshit story. Oh, we met somewhere, da da da. I can't believe Pedro. I really can't. I almost got his fucking sister killed. Got her fucking shot. Y'all know how I feel about Lucia. Got her ass fucking shot. All on some snitch figure shit. Y'all talking about y'all want Kev to die? I want Pedro to fucking die. I'm gonna say this right now. This is a Black Guru exclusive. This is my first time saying this and won't be my last. I want this snitching ass motherfucker to die. I'm still so confused about Teddy's status in Endgame. Also was on it from the jump. He was. Teddy, looking for Teddy and Matt seem irrelevant since they working for the CIA. Well, they are, but they don't know that. The DEA doesn't know that. LOL, she killed their family. She did do that, but that don't mean you go to the feds, Poison. Kill her yourself. Work with the cartels. Kill her. Don't go to the feds. You turn snitch. That's not good. I can't roll with that. I can't roll for Pedro turning into a snitch. So we get last week's cliffhanger answered in this scene. Pedro is fully aware of what's going on. He knows that bitch is a DEA agent. So he's in on it. Now this scene here, I want to talk about this. This is very important. This scene, I talked about earlier in the scope, this show stealing stuff from other shows. This show is ripping off a lot of fucking shows. It really is. Either, well, let me say it this way. I haven't seen a whole lot of TVs and movies, but there's still a lot of shit I've seen before being replayed in this show. This scene here is from Flight. This is the scene from Flight. For the people who've seen the Denzel movie Flight, where there's liquor on the counter and Denzel, it appears that he's tempted to drink it, and because Denzel's character is an alcoholic, and then Denzel walks away from it. But we're seeing it from the perspective of the liquor. So I mean of the beer. So you have to have seen the movie Flight to understand what I'm saying. But this scene here is a direct fucking ripoff of that scene. Almost identical even from the way it's shot. Even from the fucking way that it's shot, it's a fucking ripoff. Or let's not call it a ripoff. It's an illusion. Okay, it pays homage. Let's say that. It pays homage. I won't call it a ripoff. It pays homage to that flight scene. But they got to stop, and this is my point about Snowfall. They got to stop being so goddamn cliche and taking all these plot lines that I've seen before. They got to do some more original shit. But anyway, I'm thinking his pops is about to get back on the booze. His pops is actually working at the store. Okay? So, like I mentioned earlier, now let's get down to brass tacks. Franklin strolls his ass up in the store with Kia, her little chocolate ass, and he's got the paperwork for her to sign. He's got it for his dad to sign to help him with this court case he's about to deal with because of what happened. Now, earlier in this episode, Kia approached Franklin about this very issue. Franklin said no. He was very steadfast when he said no. I'm not doing that shit. He's a fucking wino. All of a sudden, he walks in. This is what I mean by Snowfall not showing Franklin reflecting on his decisions. We don't know what made Franklin change his mind. It happened completely off screen. And instead of having this conversation between Matt and Teddy about what happened to their parents back in the day, we should have seen Franklin debating the decision to actually help his father or not. Yeah, cut the white boys at the counter on the family drama shit, talking to each other about things they both already know. They're talking to each other, but they're actually speaking to us, the audience, with this 3-4 minutes of exposition that's supposed to be backstory. If you want to do that, fucking just do the whole flashback. Why even have the story at the bar? Just show a whole flashback of the Teddy family. What's with this fucking bar exposition? This cliche ass fucking conversation. He helped him because the white kid saved his dad. I know, right? What would have been better? What you mean? Because the white kid saved his dad? He saw his friend take up for dad when the uncle was slapping him. Was that explicitly said? Was that explicitly conveyed? I'll buy that, but was that explicitly conveyed in any meaningful way? Was that explicitly conveyed? You, yeah. I'll buy it. I'm okay with that because the white kid did go. That's why he left him alone. Yeah, the white kid did go. Yeah, it's my dad though. It's my dad. And then Franklin's like, nah, we gonna roll. Franklin always acts like that. Nah, but I think that was Franklin's reason. Yeah, we think. They never have to say it. Yeah, you should. You don't have to say it, but it should be explicitly conveyed that in this moment he's thinking about his father. So he's thinking about the decision that he made earlier. Maybe a flashback, maybe a flash into Franklin's mind about times with his dad as this is going on. We never get, and I don't give a fuck what y'all say, we never get the internal dialogue of Franklin ever. We never get the internal dialogue of Franklin. We don't know what Franklin is thinking from moment to moment about the decisions that he makes. And this is another example of that. It's up to you to figure it out. And that's my point. They should have looked at Franklin while the kid was defending his dad. Yeah, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't explicitly conveyed. You don't have to say it. You don't have to have a character say, well, yeah, since he did that, I'm gonna do this. But it should be explicitly conveyed to the audience so we know this moment. So check this out. Put it like this. Check this out. When Franklin walked out of the white kid's house, we should have suspected, or we should have known, Franklin is about to go help his dad. We should have known that, right? So when Franklin leaves that moment where the white kid is smacking his dad and Ankh is smacking his dad, then he goes, wait, he's my dad. We should have all known through explicit convention, we should have known that Franklin is about to change his mind about his dad. We should have known that when he walked out the house. So when that scene ended, that's what we should have got from that scene. Now, Hug 95, tell me that's what you got at the end of that scene. Yes or no? When that's, hold on, let me go back to it. When this scene ended, when this scene was over, after you were done laughing at this thing, this was a very funny scene. Tell me that you believed Franklin was about to make a decision about his dad. Poor job making Franklin thought process known to us. Or anybody in the chat. I was like, what? He just said no. No, how should we have known that? That's what I'm asking. I'm asking anybody who's seen tonight's episode, anybody who watched this particular scene, tell me, did you think Franklin, upon leaving this scene, was thinking about his dad? I don't disagree. I just think they have a very intentional writing style. I got it when he walked in the store. They wanted the viewer to draw his or her own conclusions. Well, I guess. I guess. I don't like that. I guess. I guess. I guess. Draw your own conclusions. I guess. Fuck. Well, my conclusion is this: they ripped this fucking scene right out of Flight. They didn't want me to draw a conclusion with this. This was a rip off from Flight. It's only a 40-minute show, 40 plus minutes. I know this was a fucking Flight rip off. I know that. Let me draw some more conclusions. I know this. I know this fucking bullshit dialogue that they had was some of the worst fucking dialogue I've ever seen two characters have at a bar ever about anything. Mom walked out on us. Duh. It was her who walked out. He literally said that. He literally said, it wasn't dad, it was mom who walked out on us. Duh. You're telling the character something they already know. They both already know this. That wasn't a revelation for Teddy. Teddy already knew that. Teddy already knew that. So Matt wasn't speaking to Teddy. He was speaking to us. He was telling us the story of their mom and dad and the history of their parents. He wasn't telling Teddy. He was telling us. The audience, the viewers. So the conclusion I draw is that this was some of the worst fucking dialogue I've ever fucking seen. This was unrealistic dialogue at its finest. Cliche dialogue at its finest. Since we drawing our own conclusions, this was some gay ass shit. I'm just fucking with y'all now. I should have been something about what they did wrong to cause the divorce. Yeah, Brad, we actually got nothing out of that fucking scene. We got some backstory that I guess we got to draw conclusions about what it's going to end up being ultimately. What it's going to end up meaning. You're kind of harsh. It was 2 minutes. Hug, I'm not, like I said, that's the worst scene of the night. I'm not harsh about that scene. That shit was fucking trash, bro. That shit was fucking trash, bro. Two characters. Let me just tell you just some fundamental stuff. Two characters should never tell each other stuff that they both already know. It hurts the suspension of disbelief. It hurts the suspension of disbelief. Two characters should not talk about things that they both already should know. I don't know if you have any brothers or sisters, but y'all don't tell each other shit that y'all should already know. Yeah, man, ever since mom was in that accident, man, she ain't been right. Yeah, she was driving too fast that night. It's like, bro, we were both there at the hospital. We both seen it happen. We both went through that experience together. We both did that. So why are you telling me about things that I already know? But in regards to story and screen telling, like I said, Matt's not telling Teddy. Matt's telling the audience. This is exposition. This is backstory. I won't spend too much time here. I'll move on. I'm just letting you know. I really enjoyed this scene. They may write back up for it. They may write back up with this shit here. This scene here was beautiful. And if y'all say that this is when Franklin made his decision to help his dad, I'm okay with that. I believe it. I mean, it makes sense. I'm not saying y'all wrong. I'm just saying it wasn't explicitly known. And it wasn't given to us the same way that bullshit dialogue was given to us at the bar. Now y'all gotta at least give me that. They gave us a bullshit backstory about Teddy's mom being a fucking bitch, walking out on him, that both characters already knew, but we didn't know. But they didn't give us fucking Franklin figuring out that he's going to end up helping his dad based on the situations in this scene. Now, true or false, did that happen or not happen? Because, I mean, that's just the bottom line. The dichotomy of these two scenes. Let me move on. I don't want to spend too much more time. So I got to finish this. Straight ripped off from Denzel Washington. Straight ripped off. It's just a straight rip off. I mean, I enjoyed this. I enjoy these two. Now I'm interested here because now Franklin is kind of looking at the dark skinned chocolate girl, little Nia. I'm gonna call her, I'm gonna give her a chocolatey nickname. I just got to think about it. I think I'm gonna call her, I don't know. I'm gonna give her a little chocolate nickname. Let me think about it. But yeah, so Franklin, he don't want that little light skinned girl. He got no more. He I guess he over his little light skinned girl, and he want a little chocolate girl now. So, you know. I was about to say something. But let me get through this. I'm interested to see where this goes. I think she's a better character to play the woman in his life more than his little high school girlfriend was. So I'm call her Tasha. Yeah, I'm kind of over his little high school girlfriend, so I'm more interested to see what's going on with her. I think her character is better suited to be the woman in his life versus his little high school girlfriend. But we'll see. Like I said, this is another scene where Teddy's showing that super ability, if you will, to be able to figure out what's going on prior to the DEA catching him. So him being able to call out all of the plays, and we've seen that exclusively because I forget her name right now. The Latino DEA agent is on the phone with the other cop trying to tell him, "Hey, cut him off. We're going to trail him." And Teddy's in the car saying, "Yeah, watch out. They're going to trail us. They're going to try to cut us off." Da, da, da. So he's basically saying what they're saying in the back. I actually absolutely love this. She's supposed to be the one who talks him out of dealing. That's the give I got from her. Well, we'll see. That's the vibe you got from her. Well, we'll see. I'm just interested. I like that. Whatever that is, I want to see where it goes. She also doesn't seem to be taken aback by his career. She just knows she wants no parts. Yeah, that's just like his mom, though. His mom don't want no parts, too. So we'll see what Franklin does with that. We'll see what Franklin does. I don't know. I'm just interested to see. Maybe Franklin, I don't know. She gonna bring up the reason why he sells. Maybe poison. Hopefully, because she mentioned that on tonight. She said, "I see what you want. I see what you're trying to do, but I'm not with that." And I was like, "Well, I'm glad you see why he sells, because I don't." I was like, "Okay, great. You see why he sells dope, but I've been watching this shit, Nia, for 16 episodes now, and I don't even know why he sells dope. So you may know something I don't know. Nia, tell everybody why Franklin sells dope. I'm still trying to figure that out myself." I was just about to say that. Yeah, she talking about, I know what you're doing. I know what you want, and I'm like, shit, well, tell us. Fuck. Because I'm still I did a whole a video on YouTube exclusive about that very topic. So let us all in. But let's get to the name. The name right of the episode is The Offer. And, Franklin put Lucia in a bad position. And I'm going to say it just like that because I want that to resonate with you guys. Franklin put Lucia in a bad position. So Lucia, out of desperation, went to Kev and said, "Hey, Kev, what's up on that recipe, bro? What's up on that recipe?" He wants financial freedom. Hug, I don't want to go down that road, bro. We'll be here for another fucking hour. You don't want to do that, Hug. You don't want to do that, bro. You'll be here for another hour with the Black Guru. Franklin doesn't know why he wants to sell dope. Franklin let Lucia down, and it hurt me. It hurt me too, Brad. It hurt me too. He really let Oso down. Oso and Lucia saved his fucking life. And for him to not try to give him a recipe or work out something with them, so they needed help, bro. They came to him out of help. And also said this. He said, bro, we're not really being greedy or nothing. We just need your help. We just need your help, bro. Hug. You don't want to do this with me, Hug. Be careful. Be careful, Hug. You don't want to do this. So Franklin didn't help Lucia. So they forced Lucia to go ask Kev. And Kev seemed, he wasn't as quick to turn her down as Franklin was. He thought about it for a second. I think he's still thinking about it. So what y'all think he gonna end up doing it? Y'all think he gonna end up telling her how to cook? Because I mean, they said they're gonna tell him who did the killing, which is what he always wanted to know anyway, because Franklin didn't handle that situation properly. Franklin don't owe Lucia. The fuck he don't. He owe Lucia and he owe Kev. I can make a case he owes Lucia and he owes Kev. And he owes Kev. So yeah, this is Franklin's mess. I'm not bailing Franklin out. I know he's the main character. I know he has the charisma. I know y'all like him. But I'm not bailing him out. And that pretty much wraps up the episode. Why he owed Lucia? Because Lucia and Oso saved his life. He went up there to holler at the Mexicans about that dope. Lucia and Oso, they're a pair. They're together. They're a couple. I think he's going to take the money and run. They're a couple. So if you owe Oso, you owe Lucia. If you owe Lucia, you owe Oso. They're a couple. So, and Oso was the one who told him, he said, look, man, I need your help. Oso did that. They a couple, bro. They together. They're together. If Lucia's in trouble, Oso's in trouble. Oso's calling in the favor for his girl. Oso's calling in the favor for his girl. Well, I mean, that's not hard to understand. Oso needs fucking help. Why? Because Lucia needs help. They're a fucking couple, man. Come on. What was Franklin done to deserve our respect? Good point, Brad. That's a big favor. Saving his life from the Mexicans was a big favor. So all in all, I really enjoyed this episode. Like I said, I told you guys my down slow spots. Really didn't like that dialogue at the bar. Other than that, I do think this episode was still really great for Teddy, minus that bar fucking episode. It really kind of showed a different perspective of Teddy. And I like that perspective. His ability to figure out what the CIA or what the DEA, is going to do before they do it, and what other countries are going to do to try to fuck with them. His ability to call that shit out, it's almost spy-like. It gives it a little bit of a flair. He becomes a little bit, like I said, superhero-ish. He becomes a more compelling character with that ability. He has not really shown that ability up until this point, but now that there's people on his ass and there's people he got to watch out for, he can kind of flex that ability, which gives him some more dynamic, and I really, really like that for him. I really do. For a character that I fucking hated, I really like that development we got on tonight. Can Uncle keep being this funny because it helps the show a lot? Yeah, I like Uncle. Yeah, and that's the other thing about tonight's episode. Uncle was great. That's 2 weeks in a row, I believe. Uncle has some really great stuff. Really love what popped off with the Uncle tonight. Slap your fucking daddy was great. Him walking in on that gay porn scene was fucking great. I mean, he was just fucking hilarious tonight. We got the new character in Kia. I like to see what she brings to the table. So all in all, I think this week's episode progressed from last week's. It was very episodic in the storytelling. I think, like I said, the Mexicans have the most episodic storytelling, meaning from week to week to week, the Mexican storyline is building, becoming more complex, involving more people. But I think Lucia and Oso's characters and the Mexican characters are really the backbone of this show as far as week to week episodic storytelling. So, all in all, I think this was a really, really good episode.